Welcome to Champions Code. I'm your host, Kane Swift. Today on Champions Code, have you ever wondered how a childhood of physical limitations can forge the world's fastest man? Today, we unravel the story of Usain Bolt, revealing how his greatest strength emerged from a moment of devastating defeat, teaching us how to embrace our imperfections and rewrite our own rules of possibility. The stadium falls silent. London, 2017. In his final individual race, the unthinkable happens. Usain Bolt, the fastest man in history, pulls up with a devastating hamstring injury. The invincible has become mortal. As he limps across the finish line, you might wonder, how does someone who redefined human potential end their story in such apparent defeat? Picture rural Jamaica, where a young boy can't stop moving. His parents worry constantly. Their son's body seems at war with itself. Scoliosis curves his spine, making every movement a negotiation with pain. The doctors suggest rest, careful management, perhaps a more sedentary life. But Usain Bolt's energy defies medical advice. In the lush greenery of Sherwood content, he finds his first track. The uneven paths between banana trees, the makeshift cricket pitches, the football fields carved from necessity. But running isn't yet his destiny. It's simply his rebellion against limitation. At school, they call him names. He's too tall, too gangly, too everything. His running style looks wrong. Basic physics seems to argue against his success. A 65 sprinter, impossible. The conventional wisdom is clear. Shorter, compact bodies make better sprinters. But young Usain turns awkwardness into art. His long legs, initially a source of mockery, become the very tools that will rewrite the rules of speed. Watch him in these early years. Cricket bat in hand, he's learning rhythm. On the football field, he's developing explosive power. Every stumble, every misplaced step is teaching him something about his unique body. His flaws are becoming his foundation. Success comes early. At 15, he becomes the youngest world junior champion in history. But physics and fate conspire against him. A devastating hamstring injury before the 2004 Olympics threatens everything. The whispers turn to doubts. Too fragile, they say, too inconsistent. In his darkest moments, Bolt questions everything. The pain is constant, the future uncertain. But in this crucible of doubt, something remarkable begins to form. A philosophy that will change not just his approach to running, but to life itself. Enter Glenn Mills, the coach who sees past the obvious. Together, they develop what Bolt calls the moment of no return. It's not just about training, it's about transforming pain from enemy to ally. In the pre-dawn hours of the track, while Kingston sleeps, Bolt learns to smile through suffering. Every stride becomes a conversation with limitation. Every interval, a negotiation with impossibility. Beijing, 2008. The Olympic Stadium pulses with anticipation. But something's different about this sprinter. While others pace intensely, Bolt plays to the crowd. His pre-race routine looks more like a dance. The traditionalists are appalled. This isn't how champions behave. What happens next rewrites history, not just because he breaks the world record, not just because he wins by the largest margin in Olympic history, but because he does it while celebrating before the finish line, his shoelace untied, running on a breakfast of chicken nuggets. He's not just winning, he's redefining what winning looks like. you're enjoying Champions Code, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Champion's Edge. Learn the elite mindset of warriors like Jordan and Phelps to intelligently outperform. Now, back to the episode. The numbers seem impossible. 9.58 seconds for 100 meters, 19.19 seconds for 200 meters. Records that still stand today, seeming more untouchable with each passing year. But the numbers tell only part of the story. It's how he does it that matters. His height, once a liability, becomes his superpower. Each stride covers more ground than his competitors thought possible. His awkward, running style becomes the new template for speed. The critics who said a tall man couldn't sprint now study his technique. The physics that seemed to limit him now explain his dominance. He hasn't just beaten the competition, he's changed the conversation about human potential. But lightning takes its toll. Behind the smile and the celebrations, the work continues. The moment of no return comes more frequently now. Each season brings new challenges, younger rivals, more pressure. The hamstring that betrayed him in 2004 never fully heals. It merely negotiates, demanding more respect, more maintenance, more compromise. Yet he keeps winning. 3 consecutive Olympics, multiple world championships. The victories pile up, but so does the cost. His body keeps score of every record, every celebration, every moment of defying what should be possible. Now we return to London, 2017. The injury, the limp, the end that seemed to contradict everything that came before. But watch closely. Even as he crosses the line in pain, the smile remains. Not as bright, perhaps, not as carefree, but present. Because Bolt understands something fundamental about greatness. It's not about being invincible, it's about being undaunted. You might never run 100 meters in 9.58 seconds, but that's not the point of Bolt's story. His journey asks you a simple but profound question. What limitations have you accepted without question? What physics are you allowing to define your possibilities? Perhaps your scoliosis is a difficult boss. Your awkward stride is an unconventional approach to your craft. Your hamstring injury is past failure that still haunts you. But remember, Bolt didn't succeed despite these challenges. He succeeded because they taught him to think differently about limitation. The race isn't always won in the stadium. Sometimes it's won in your own mind. In those moments when you choose to smile at difficulty, when you decide that the rules of what's possible were written by someone else, for someone else. Your moment of no return awaits. The only question is, will you recognize it as an end or as your beginning? The race isn't always won in the stadium. Sometimes it's won in your own mind. On the next episode of Champions Code, after witnessing Usain Bolt's triumphs and trials, you've seen firsthand that even legends struggle with self-doubt. But what if I told you there's another Olympic hero who faced an entirely different kind of challenge? One who was once labeled a lost cause, only to become the most decorated Olympian in history. Join us next time as we dive into Michael Phelps' story, where we'll explore how finding strength in weakness and resilience can truly change everything. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Champion's Edge. 7 days, 7 champion habits. Train your mind like an Olympian and outmaneuver competitors while putting in less effort. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/cc. Thanks for watching.